PAX wardrobes are organization game changers, and they're specially designed to make assembly smooth and easy, which means you don't have to give up your whole Saturday to build a new closet. You probably know that there are a lot of options when it comes to creating your PAX. Different depths, widths, colors, and door mounts. I'm going to build a corner unit that has 2 regular frames, 1 left corner frame, and hinged doors. This will show you pretty much all the steps for building any PAX you dream up for your space. We're starting with a frame that will connect on this side to a corner unit and on this side to a regular wall unit. First, unbox everything for this frame and lay it out. Trust me, this step is going to save you from scrambling to find the right screw later. Should we do this ASMR style? Depending on the size of your PAX wardrobe, you may have a few different pieces of hardware from what I have here. So don't stress if you do. The instruction manual for your specific PAX lists the hardware included, so it's easy to see what you need. Keep this handy, not just for the hardware overview. It's going to be your biggest support for putting your PAX together. Keep your Allen key handy too. You'll need it for fine-tuning later. And now is a good time to grab the other tools we need for the job. We're going to start with the back rail. As any builder worth their weight in lumber will tell you, a good foundation is key to a solid structure. This rail here, it's the foundation for your PAX. It keeps the whole thing secure and stable. Think about how many times you're going to yank on the door or open a drawer. You definitely don't want the whole thing shifting around when you do that. So don't skip the step. Take the back rail and bend both ends to get an L shape. Where the rail is going on the wall depends on the size of your frame and if you're attaching it to a corner unit or not. Don't worry, it's not a lot to figure out. IKEA crunched the numbers already, so just grab the manual to see what you need to do for your setup. I'm going to attach this frame to a corner unit, so it's not going right up against the wall. I'm measuring 7 5/8 inches from the corner. This is where I'll center the slot of the rail. It's good to be as exact as possible when doing these measurements, but there's room to make adjustments later before you tighten everything up. So don't stress too much about this. The height of the rail depends on the size of the frame you're putting together. If you've got a 92 and a 7/8 tall frame like me, measure 91 7/16 inches from the floor. If your frame is a different size, just check the manual for the right measurement. Now I can see where these measurements meet, and that's going to be the center of my rail slot. Perfect. Now we're ready for the heavy machinery. PAX comes with wall anchors, but how you use them depends on the type of wall you have. And guess what? The manual tells you what to do for different wall types. I told you, keep it handy. We've got drywall here, so I'm going to drill into my pencil marks and then hammer in the anchor. Pop the rail back up here and use a screwdriver to put the screw in with a washer. Don't tighten it all the way because we want to leave space for any small adjustments we might need to do later. Before you do the other side, it's a good idea to double check that the rail is level. We don't want to end up with a crooked wardrobe. Then you can make a mark in the center of the other slot. It's a good idea to double check that the rail is level. There, foundation set, just like that. And now is a good time to get a little help. Get the frame out of the box, but don't undo the straps just yet. It's a lot easier to move around when they're still on. Make sure the arrows are pointing up. Then, when it's where you want it, peel the straps off and pop it open. Keep the frame a little away from the wall, just an inch or so. You're going to need space to put some hardware in before pushing it back. This is where we turn to what I like to call the Saturday Saver. This little piece of hardware does about 7 different things at once. Make sure the foot is screwed in and then slide the piece into the frame where you've got these holes in the corners. In the back, you're going to lock our Saturday Savers in place with these little guys and slide the support board in there. These L-shaped pieces from your hardware pile go in the back, like this. And in the front, there's no extra hardware. Just push the support board in and slide it down to lock it in place. Let's take a look at our hardware and grab these L-shaped pieces. They are going to slide into the front corners. And congrats! You're more than halfway done putting the frame together. If you've been following along in the instruction manual, you'll notice that the next steps are different depending on if you're connecting this to a corner frame or not. I'm connecting to a left corner frame, so I'm going to show you how that's done. If your frame isn't going to connect to a corner unit, you can go ahead and skip to the next section. We're going to be working at the top of the frame a lot, so have your ladder ready and make sure you put it on sturdy, level ground. Introducing what I like to call the cat catcher. It's going to make sure nothing falls between the frame and your wall, where it would be almost impossible to get out. Fluffy thanks you. If you have the narrower frame, you'll only use one of these mounting pieces and you can get rid of the other one. But for our frame, we need both, and they just slide together, like this. Place the connection piece flush with the top of the frame and just a bit in from the edge. About 1/8 of an inch. What's that, like half the width of an IKEA pencil? That looks good. And just mark where the screws are going to go. It's easier if you start the screws without holding these mounting pieces in place. Then, before you tighten them up, you can pop them back on, like this. The frame is prepped for the corner unit now, so we'll just continue like we would with any other wall frame. For the top back corners, you've got a piece that's for the left and one that's for the right, so be sure to put the right one in the right side, or the correct one in the correct side. You know what I mean. You'll be able to tell pretty quickly if you got them switched around. Now you can slide the frame back against the wall, and the folded part of the rail should overlap the piece you just put in. Time for the famous Allen key to make an appearance. Put your level on the base of the frame and use the Allen key to adjust the feet until you get everything even. Side to side and front to back. You don't want your socks rolling out when you open the door. Then finish it off with a small dowel in each front corner. Okay, so remember we left these rail screws untightened? That's so you've got a little wiggle room to move the frame left or right at this point. I'm happy with this placement, so I'm going to tighten these up. Now we're going to grab a handful of hardware from our pile and a screwdriver. These layer on the back top corners like this. Tighten them up, but don't go overboard. We need to come back to them in a bit. Last step before we mount the top of the frame. Pop these bracket dowels in place up top, but leave them angled a bit to the side. Time for a little help again. Put the unfinished edge toward the back and angle the panel down, like this. You need to get the back corners on that hardware we installed. Don't push the panel all the way back yet though. Just keep it on the edge of the hardware. Tilt it up and get the knobs on the edges into the holes on the sides. And now slide it back to lock it in place. Great! Now pop these in the top and loosen the screw a bit. And then swivel these bracket dowels up to support the top. Thanks so much, we did it. And after all that work, we're going to cover these guys up because they're not that pretty to look at. Sorry, guys. The covers look similar, but there's one for the left side and one for the right. You can't really get it wrong because they only fit on the side that they're designed for. Do you want to do the last part? Okay, just place the bottom frame panel in there, making sure these small holes are facing upwards. Yep, over the dowels we put in earlier. Now I'm going to show you how to attach a regular wall frame next to this one, and we'll finish off with a corner unit. So stick with me for that. We're ready to prep the wall for the next frame, and just like the first one, we start with the most important step, mounting the rail. This will give us a solid anchor for our wardrobe. Let's measure it out. This time I'm measuring for a frame that's going flush against another frame. It's the same as if it was going up against the wall. The distance you want to mark is 2.5 inches. Again, this is where I'll center the slot of the rail for the screw. And we find the right height based on how tall our frame is. Check the manual for the measurements for your frame. I need to measure 91 7/16. Now I can see where these meet, and that's going to be the center of my rail slot. Let's drill some holes. Grab your rail, Don't forget that you need to bend these ends to make a 90-degree angle. Remember, I've got drywall here, so I'm going to hammer in wall anchors and then screw the rail in place. Check the manual for info on what to do for other wall types. Line up the center of the slot with your pencil marks. Then use the level to straighten it out before you make your mark on the other side. There, the precision part is done. All done and ready for a frame. This frame assembles exactly as the first one. So if you want to do it step by step, just go back and start over at the unbox and prep part. You can grab a couple of clamps to help keep the frame snug together while you do this next part. Now we've got a rule of 5 going on. You're going to use a 5mm drill bit to drill through the frames at the 5th hole from the bottom and the 5th hole from the top. Then, use this screw and bolt to connect these frames. Two frames down, one to go. Again, I recommend you unbox everything and lay it out to make the whole build a bit smoother for yourself. You'll notice that there are actually 2 manuals. You have to make sure to use the one that shows the cabinet that you want to build, left or right. Just toss the other one away so you don't get them mixed up. If you're not working on carpet, it's a good idea to put down a blanket or a drop sheet of some kind to protect your floors. We're going to be moving the corner unit around a bit while we put it together, so it's smart to have something underneath. We'll start by setting out the boards for the base and putting them together by following the instructions. Be sure to use the right screw for this. Some of these small ones look the same, but they're not. These ones have a rounded edge on the head. On to the bottom now. Make sure you grab the right panel for this part. They look similar, but they're not exactly the same. If you're making a left corner like me, when you put the raw edge away from you, the big holes should be on the left. If you're building a right corner cabinet, you need to grab the panel that has the big holes on the right instead. You're going to put the hardware in these corners underneath. If you're not totally sure you've got the right spot, double-check the manual. Better check twice and hammer once. Now put the frame you've assembled onto the panel and secure them with these screws. It's time for the feet. You should have 2, and they just click together, like this. Then, screw them into the bottom of the base here. Make sure you go far enough that they don't stick up past the baseboard. Great, now we can move on to the frame. Lay out your frame panels and install the hardware according to the instructions. Perfect. Now, before you move on, you need to know if you can stand your frame up without bumping your ceilings. For these tall frames, you need just shy of 7-foot high ceilings for clearance. I've got that here, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble accordingly. But if your ceilings are lower than that, you just have to do things in a slightly different order. Check out the instruction manual for guidance. We can go ahead and put the dowels in place. And then take these fittings to tighten up the frame. You should use 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Okay, now we're going to turn the whole frame over to make it easier to attach the next panel. And this is when you're glad you put down a blanket to keep your floor from getting scuffed. This is the smaller panel now. Make sure both the metal brackets are at the top here. Then you'll pop it in place using the dowels you already installed. Secure it with these screws and your Allen key. Now roll the whole thing 180 degrees so you can put the back panel on. Get the panel tight into the bottom corners, and then you can use this neat little tool to perfectly place your nails from the edge. Go ahead and work your way around the panel. Now we need to add the pieces that will let us attach the corner unit to the other PAX frame we've got assembled. These brackets aren't exactly the same. So make sure you double check the manual to get the right one in the right place. For the bottom bracket, the tab on the end should point upwards. And for the top bracket, the tab should point down. We're going to use these long screws. I'm going to use my power drill for this just because it's faster, but you can do it with a regular screwdriver too. Before you stand the frame up, you can double check these feet. Make sure they're far enough in that they won't catch on the floor when you slide the whole thing in place. We're going to use the pieces we just attached on the corner unit to connect it with this frame. 3 on the top and 3 down here. Now you're going to make sure that everything is nice and level. Just go ahead and adjust the feet as needed. And then head up to the brackets to secure the cabinet to the wall. Start by marking your holes with a pencil, then go in with the screws. Before you tighten them all the way, pop on this plate. Then cover them up. Final detail, pop these caps in the holes of the frame. With my frames all done and in place, it's time for the finishing touches. I'm putting Tonstad doors on my PAX, and I've customized the inside with complement drawers and inserts, plus lighting. Thanks for following along. May your wardrobe be filled with matching socks and wrinkle-free shirts.